In today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how you can create videos using a technique, which is to create runway style videos of anime characters walking side by side with their real life characters by simply using Google Gemini and Grok. So without further ado, let's jump straight to it, shall we? All right, so as far as the prompt is concerned, I'm going to read it straight to you. But first, I'm going to go to a new chat in Gemini. And this prompt is simple. It's actually the same one that we've used in that other practice tutorial where we created the Pocahontas style images using Gemini. And the only thing I've modified here is I've said generate a real life 9 by 16 inches front view, low camera angle, medium close up image of Monkey D. Luffy, the anime version of him, as well as your real life version of him. So, in other words, I made it precise to Gemini to generate its own version of Luffy or whatever character that anime character might be, not the cast member of Luffy now, because there is a live action going. I don't want it to put that guy. And I said, make him look very cool. He should be walking side by side on a runway. The runway is a bit elevated off the ground and made of tempered glass, and the studio is lit with perfect white bright lights. On the runway sides, people are sitting enjoying the show, and in the top back, there's a big screen LED TV with the title of the One Piece anime, not Anine. All right. So if I were to click submit, everything here is ready. Make sure that you mention 9 by 16. Otherwise, that's not going to work. Now, another thing is, if you're wondering, why did I not share the prompts with you? Actually, I've shared the prompt with you. You can just pause the screen and go ahead and type that. Now, if you don't want to type that, which probably can take you 1 minute to, or take a screenshot of the prompt or whatever you want to do, but it's going to take you 1 minute to put it down or to actually memorize it and write your own version of it. If you're not ready to spend 1 minute on a prompt, that's not very cool, okay? You should be ready to spend 1 minute on a prompt. All right. Now, as you can see, this seems like a cool version, but I don't quite like it. Because here I said your own version of him, as well as the real life version of him. Make him look very cool and imagine exactly how he would look in real life. So instead of your own version, I'm going to do it differently, because when I said your own version, it thought that it can modify the clothing however it wishes. It thought that it could do whatever it wants. And so it cannot do whatever it wants. These AI tools are nice and all, but you have to make sure to make them do what you want to get out of them. All right. Now here it's developing a new composition. Let's wait for it. Now it's another thing to always remember. You don't want to overwhelm these tools because they can easily get overwhelmed. So make sure that you do it slowly. Now here, well, actually, it did what I didn't want it to do. So it generated the real life version of him, but then again, because this is Google, they took the real life version of him from the movie. Well, actually, it's okay. All right. So I'm going to keep it. So I'm going to copy paste or go to canva.com. And now I should like to create a new project in Canva that I'm going to use a custom size here of 9 by 16. All right. Now in here, I'm just going to click on Control V to paste in the image. And the reason why I'm doing so is just so that I can put my images in one place. I don't think that I should really go and upscale these images right now. I don't want to take an eternity upscaling these images. Besides, I don't want to upscale this image precisely because I'm pretty sure that it might alter the facial features of the character himself. Okay, so that's one thing that's not really good with upscaling. It improves the image quality, but when you want to preserve the face of the actor, I would rather not use it. Now, there is the auto adjust tool, which is cool because it auto adjusts the lights. And I could get rid of this little Google Gemini logo. I don't know why they have to add their logo right there, you know? All right. You could just scale the image bigger, and it will hide the logo if you want. Or you could just double click and crop your image like this and just keep the parts that you want to keep. For instance, in this case, I think it would be wise to crop and to just keep the parts where Luffy is walking, to be honest. I don't see why we should show those people. We know none of them. Okay, so why should we show them? All right, so this looks better now, far better from this. So now the only thing that you need to change is to copy paste the same prompt from before. And instead of Monkey D. Luffy, you can say Rara Noa Zoro. Rara Noa Zoro. And here we can look very cool, blah, blah, blah. That's it. Okay, so just the name. And hopefully this chat remains nice because we can, it can happen sometimes, but sometimes chats don't stay consistent. Besides, there's just a bunch of more characters that I'd like to add. So if you don't have information about One Piece, you can just search, for instance, Straw Hat Pirates in real life. This technique is not so much about One Piece, to be honest. By the way, notice that one of my videos is ranked number number 1, 2. So I'm ranked particularly high on even Google. But in any case, so Straw Hat Pirates, actually, Straw Hat Pirates. And if you want to know their names, you can just come over here to this fandom Wikipedia, and then you can just find the main crew names. Straw Hat Pirates, there's Luffy, Zoro, Nami, blah, 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 which they joined. So Zoro and Luffy were the first. Luffy is the first, Zoro is the vice captain. And then there's Nami, Usopp, and so on and so forth in a specific order. But okay, now over here, you can see that this is nice. I'm pretty sure that this Zoro here is not the Zoro from the specifically from the anime. Make him look cool and imagine exactly how he would look like in real life. To be honest, I'll take this version of Zoro. I mean, it's a pretty good version of him. Now he does wear jeans at times. Doesn't He's not always wearing a Japanese kimono. So here I'm just gonna increase the image size so that we can see the characters more instead of the audience, which we don't really care too much about. Who cares what the audience look like? Now the auto adjustment didn't work really well for me because it kind of reduced the brightness. It needs to look like there is some bright lights, right? Because they are in the studio. Now I like the shadows as well. You can see that this tool gotta be crazy. It got so good that I'm almost addicted to it, and I can no longer do my business without it. Now the next one, Nami. Okay, so again, you say Nami, version of her instead of him now. So anywhere you see him, you turn it to her, make her look very, very attractive. Imagine how she would look if in real life she should be walking. Mm, 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 mm. All right, so that's it. Slowly but surely. I actually like this one. It's not completely exaggerated like an AI fusion hub. They kind of seem to exaggerate everything. But again, as I said, I'm not looking forward to use those tactics to get more followers or to get more comments. Though they will definitely work, but I will not be known to have succeeded because of that. Okay. I might be a businessman, but I will not play a dirty game. All right. So here, because this is about Usopp, or otherwise known as Usoppin, I'm going to take the Zoro prompt because we didn't change the her to him to her there, and I just need to change the name. That's it, to Usopp. So you can see that slowly but surely getting in there. All right, this is Luffy. I got to admit that the Luffy character looks more like Luffy. He's a pretty good choice. He just needs to get a little more muscular. That's it. After that, I think he would be a perfect fit because Luffy is might be tiny, but might be actually skinny, but he's pretty strong. Okay, he's got some muscles. All right, it seems like Gemini is not responding particularly well, so I guess I'm gonna have to refresh. Yep, that's what I guessed. It didn't take the previous prompt at all. It was stuck, hallucinating, and hallucination is it's called AI hallucination that or LLM hallucination. Let's check this term out. LLM hallucination. Okay. LLM hallucinations are when large language models generate fluent, convincing, but factually incorrect or nonsensical information stemming from patterns in training data rather than true understanding. Okay, so this happens times where it feels like the AI is working, but it's actually not working because the information it provides you with is wrong. The images it might provide you with are not what you're asking it to generate in any way. So sometimes it happens even to me. I ask it to generate an image of Zoro, and ends up generating an image of Luffy or an image of a different character. And if I insist on the next comment, the next chat, or the next chat, yeah, next message, it still doesn't fix it and gives me back the same image it generated from before. If that happens to you, that's a case of hallucination or AI hallucination. Leave the chat and then start a new chat. That's the only thing you can do that will work. So do not stay on the same chat thinking that you'll be able to fix the old chat or that chat. So right now, what do we have? We have Sanji, I guess. Sanji is one of my favorite, even though he's highly hated, but he's always been one of my favorites. Now this is not a course where I'm trying to be an anime, fan here. It's also a business, but at the same time, he's an amazing guy. He's very strong, very very good deep down. He does have some flaws, just like the rest of us, but it's pretty cool. Right, this version of Sanji doesn't really look to be the best one, but because he has bigger, thicker hair. But I'd say I'll take it. And again, I'm zooming in because we want to focus more on the characters rather than the audience. All right, so what character is next? I guess the next one is Chopper. Tony Chopper. Always remember that Gemini can make mistakes. Don't take it from me, take it from them. In the bottom of the page here, or the chat bot, they're saying Gemini can make mistakes. So double check it. It's a way of removing themselves from responsibility. They don't have to take any responsibility after saying that. For this one, I didn't really adjust the lighting, and I think that for the previous one as well. I think I need to adjust the lighting for both. Yeah, it reduced the contrast, but then it didn't add some lighting. I don't know about Usopp, but I think that's a pretty good fit. Though this guy looks a little more dangerous, and we know that Usopp is not that dangerous. He's a very soft guy. All right, so the Choppa. I mean, he looks good, but it looks anime like. I don't know. I think I'll take it. Though he looks like an anime version again, but let's just take his picture. Now, Chopper's already kind of like a close up, so I don't want to do anything to ruin it. The next one, I guess, is Nico Robin. Yes. Nico Robin. All right. And then I'm just going to click on generate. Now, remember that I'm using the pro version. It thinks longer, which can be annoying, but at the same time, it gives better results. That's why it's called pro. All right. So as far as Nico Robin, this is not how she should look. Um, so in order for me to fix this, I'm gonna say fix the image, fix the clothing of Robin. She is not wearing black. Make the clothes and shape consistent on the real Robin. So they made the anime one look completely different from the real one, which begs the question: is this chat starting to hallucinate? Which I guess it might be. If it might, then start a new chat. It's okay. I think that my mistake was probably not mentioning the her. So I'm going to take that prompt that I used for Nami. It's going to change the name to Nico Robin. And I guess that this should fix it because this one is good. The exception is that I said him multiple times in that prompt. So that might have confused Gemini. I don't know for sure, but that might be the reason. All right. Well, this one is actually much better. Yep, definitely better because she's consistent with the anime version of her. But it also seems pretty weird because it seems like Gemini is really into pop star or something because most of the character it generates are they have pretty much the same shape. They're mostly very lean and not just lean but very lean. I might confirm this theory if they generate a lean version of Frankie, and we know Frankie is definitely not lean. Frankie is a pretty big dude. He's very big. He's actually maybe 3 meters tall. Frankie, One Piece, height. I think he's about the same size as Goldie Roger or something. He's 240. Yep. So he's very, very tall. Yep. He's quite tall. He's very tall. So you have characters like Goldie Roger, taller than him, but not that much. He's okay. He's taller than him, 274 centimeters. Come on, that's crazy. This guy was almost like a giant, you know. And we have Luffy looking. But the crazy thing is, why is it that Rayleigh is 188 centimeters, but he looked very similar to Roger in size? That is the crazy part. Frankie looks really good. You know, I'm gonna edit the prompt. I'm gonna say generate, imagine exactly how he should look, how he should look. It look like in real life according to anime or to the anime. Because as much as I like that Frankie image, I don't think it's consistent with the character. Um, mm, 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 mm. Frankie after time skip. So I'm gonna click instead of saying cyborg, I'm actually just gonna mention the name and not say cyborg because it still didn't do a pretty good depiction of him. Should we also put Nefertari Vivi with the straw hats? I'm not sure we should do that really. So I will not do it. This one is slightly better. Oh, okay. I think I'm just gonna take it because I mean, even if they're going to wanna create a Frankie, they're definitely not going to make him that huge, and we saw that with the characters in the live action. They couldn't make Garp 3 meters tall, even though he's 3 meters. He's actually 298 centimeters in the anime, but they could not make him that. So here, Brook. And hit generate. Okay, as I said, Garp height. He's pretty much the close to the height of the admirals. He's 287, so he's very close to Roger. Roger at 274. Yep, he's extremely tall. The crazy thing is that heights kind of change in One Piece all the time. Now this is how big Garp should be compared to Luffy, but this is not how they look. It's crazy. It seems like Oda has his own sizes. Now this is pretty cool for Brook. I like it. I think it's pretty fine. I think that my audience is gonna like it as well. Now the only one that is left is Jinbei. And so I'm going to say Jinbei. How is it written? It's actually written Jinbei, just with a B, no I in the end. All right, so let's just generate. In the meantime, go back and check and edit those images. This one and this one. So I'm simply auto adjusting each and every single one of them. We have the Tony Chopper one, and we have the Sanji one. Actually, for Sanji, I've already done it. I think I'm going to add a little more brightness. All right, so let's go back to take the Jinbei one. Why does Jinbei look very weird? All right, you know what? For Jinbei, I'm going to do it separate. And I'm going to have to attach a character reference picture. So I'm going to say based on the image attached, based on the resource image attached, generate an image of Jinbei, and then I guess it should make a better job now, or do a better job. All right, so, and after this, I'm going to name my file Straw Hats, IRL on the runway. IRL is short for Straw Hats in real life. We're only missing Jinbei. I'm not going to do the Vivi because she's part of the Straws, but at the same time, she hasn't sailed with them since Alabasta, so it's 20 years. So she's just technically part of the crew, but never actually really did anything of note. And to be honest, I don't really like her. All right, so let's paste this here. Jinbei didn't turn out to be very bad, though he should have been a little bigger. They kind of made him a little leaner and more muscular, but it's also not bad. I like it. So I'm going to auto adjust. But they kind of made it darker, which I don't like. Just checking some stuff here. This is all good. Yep. Always need to make sure that those lights appear because I want to make it clear that they are in a studio. This one is good. Zoro one is good. The Luffy one is good. Definitely so. All right, so I can download my images right now. And as far as these images are concerned, I just need to animate them using Grok. And then I can put them together in a video. All right, so as far as the animation part of this, first off, I shall create a folder. And inside of this folder, I'm going to place all of the exported images. Extract all. With Canva, you can download multiple images at the same time, and you can extract the images from a zip folder so that you don't have to download each image separately. That is just the way you should do it if you want to go faster. Otherwise, it will take you a very long time. So right now, I have all the images, I think. Let me just get rid of the files that I don't need, which are the zip files right now. They're empty. All right, there are my images. Now I'm going to create a folder for images and a folder for videos that I'm going to call B-roll. So these are images. Let me put the images first inside of this folder. And then I'm going to create a folder that I'm going to name B-roll. Okay. So B-roll. But first, let's access the images folder. And they're already organized by name. So If I just view them as extra large icons, that should be enough. Now let me just go ahead and open the first one because I want to make sure the quality is good. I'm gonna have to go zoom in a bit, and it looks pretty nice. It's a little pixelated, but when you zoom in, but it's not bad. I could have upscaled, but like I said, I was afraid that if I upscaled the video, that I'm going to decrease the quality. Okay, that's something that's been known to happen. Okie dokie. So I think that this is nice. So now I'm gonna animate this stuff. So when it comes to animation, I'm just gonna drag and drop the image into Grok in the Imagine tool. So you go to grok.com and you click Imagine, and then you drag and drop the image or upload it. Quite frankly, I drag and drop them for simplicity. Next thing is, when you drag and drop, you can customize your video, but since this is a specific type of video that showcases a character from the anime walking side by side with the realistic version of them, I don't know a best fitting prompt to achieve this animation, so I'll leave it to Grok to animate this without a prompt. If it does a fantastic job, then I'm just gonna leave it be. I think it did a pretty hilariously fantastic job. So I don't need to add a custom stuff prompt or anything. This is all good. Now here we can see that Luffy kind of appeared and disappeared in the back. I like it. It's a pretty fine effect for people that would notice. Now, upscale your videos at HD always and then download. Now, once you downloaded that, next thing is we're going to have to do the same thing for the Zoro one. You just drag and drop them. Grok immediately understands that you want to turn this image into a video. And I noticed that when you just leave it to Grok to animate, it kind of does a fantastic job. When you try to animate yourself, it doesn't do a good job. And that it only applies to these types of videos, not everything. Okay. Now, quick check. The reason why I'm using Grok is because it's cheap, and at the same time, it does incredible animation. So it's not because it's cheap that it's not cool. Actually, it's the coolest. All right. And number two is you can generate an unlimited number of videos without an issue. And also, their policies are very, very soft. So you can almost get away with everything. Not that I'm saying that we're here trying to get away with everything or we're trying to do some things that are suspicious. I don't recommend you to use the a software to do bad things and then to go on social media and say, hey, this software is doing bad things, it can do this kind of stuff or it can generate these types of videos because there's a lot of people, I call them instigators. What they do is they instigate this stuff, and then next thing you know, these AI tools they get more and more and more restrictive to the point where even for the basic stuff, we cannot get them to do the basic stuff. Again, what I'm saying is I'm saying it's not okay for these AI tools to be, kind of able to do bad things, okay? But there is a way in which you can help improve these tools by disliking videos, by reporting to the Grok support instead of going on social media. Because when you go on social media and when things blow up, what can happen is something that will not be in your own benefit, and you will find yourself. And this happened even in my case with Midjourney, with Runway ML. There were types of videos like these because before the Grok, I used to generate runway videos on Runway ML. Okay, but next thing you know, I cannot even do that on Runway ML right now. I cannot even turn these here into videos on Runway ML. So if I take this same image on Runway ML, I will not be able to generate a video. And that is because there has been a lot of complaining on social media instead of asking the company itself directly to remove certain things or to remove certain features or to pay attention to certain loopholes. And of course, for disclosure, you should always not use these tools to do anything that's illegal or anything that's bad per se. Now, why does Usopp have the straw hat? He doesn't actually have it. It's just from the logo. My goodness. So that's crazy. So he picked up the straw hat from the logo. All right, let me just repeat the video. here by clicking make video. This is crazy. You can see that he picked up the straw hat from the logo. That's hilarious. Because there's that logo here, and even in the I don't know where I can find it. There it is. So for instance, you can see here we have Sanji, and the logo in the back, it has a straw hat on the skull. That's called the Jolly Roger. Usopp picked that. And again, still picking that. My goodness. Goodness me. I don't know what to do to solve it, to be honest. Usopp from One Piece. I don't know. Maybe try that instead. But it's kind of hilarious. He picked up the straw hat. All right, again, it seems to be like he's going to pick that straw hat all the time. Whatever. He's a straw hat, so it's okay. This is good. I like the way it animated it here because I've used that Usopp from One Piece. You never know what these tools think, by the way. They might think that this is One Piece, actually think that this is like a rock band or something. Okay. So it could go either way. You never know. But it's both worlds, the anime and the realistic world, both colliding or interacting. All right. So again, for this one, I'm not going to do anything besides just drag and drop the image. And as I said, if we are lucky, then Grok is going to do a good job of it without us trying to or adding any custom options or anything. All right, this one seems to be pretty cool. I like it, though they kind of changed Sanji a bit here, but it's okay. I mean, cannot complain. Sanji changed haircut midway. All right, let's upscale this and get going. All right, so what do we have more? We have Choppa. This one as well. Again, not gonna do much besides just letting it do its thing. All right, you gotta appreciate Google Gemini. It's one of a kind. Even Sora is not capable of doing such things right now. All right, this one is good. Let's just pause that music. You don't need it. All right, upscale. Choppa. Choppa is one of the best. I like him a lot. All right, let's download. Okay, so right now we have Miss Robin. Okay. There we go. This one is pretty cool. Now they made Robin Japanese, but you never know. I mean, that last part there was not necessary. It shouldn't have been there, but whatever. That's kind of Grok's crazy stuff. But you got to appreciate the way they're synchronized. They both walk the same way. They did that last move there, the same in the same at the same time. You know, even down to their mannerisms, they're very perfectly synchronized. But again, as I was saying, Robin is not Japanese. But if they make her Japanese, what of it? Because according to Oda, Robin is Russian. Yep, stuff up right. According to Oda, Robin nationality. Okay, all right. So the Luffy is Brazilian, Zoro is Japanese, Nami is Swedish, Usopp should be African, Sanji should be French, Choppa should be Canadian, Robin should be Russian, and Frankie should be American. So according to him, those are what the characters must be like. It was clear that Usopp should be African because his dad is Yasop, and we saw that he had like those Bob Marley type inspired shape or inspired build. I like this one better. Look at the real Frankie, man. This is crazy. Can't really believe I'm seeing this. And this is supposed to be the real Frankie. Well, at least we can say they have the same haircut. They couldn't make Frankie on the right side wear, you know, a boxer. They could see those subtleties. Gemini is quite smart, so instead of making him exactly like the other guy, they couldn't because you know what? We're not gonna make him look like a wrestler, like The Rock back when he was in WrestleMania. So they kind of, but in a way, they didn't put any clothes on on Brooke. I hope that nothing weird happens on the animation. You know, Brooke should really drop the clothing. He's just bones. You know, I mean, he's literally bones. That's crazy. All right, because he has a devil fruit that allows him to live forever. This is good. I like it, but I'm gonna redo. And the reason is because Brooke lost his hair, and his hair is the most important thing. So I like that animation. I just don't like the fact that he lost his hair and he lost his clothing. You can see that on one side, all of his clothing went. I like this one better. It's more consistent. Yep, they didn't do anything unnatural, except for Brooks Kane is not seen from the other side, but that's okay. So I'm gonna download this video, and right after it, there's the Jinbei video, and after that, we just gotta render our video using CapCut. This one I'm gonna post on my channel because it's One Piece, and it seems like YouTube has a good. They kind of seem to relate my channel to One Piece, so All right, so for the last one is Jinbei. I don't like the way they made the real Jinbei walk, so I'm gonna say Jinbei, the Sea Lord Waterbender, so that they kind of can make a great animation of him manipulating water or something. How about we make him create like a sea wave, something like that? I think that would be kind of cool. This is good. I kind of like this one, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna upscale it, but he's way too obese on this one right here. I'm not sure if that's how he should look, but I guess then that's Jinbei doesn't have a care in the world for how he looks. All right, so let's just download because if you compare Fisher Tiger, which was his former captain, I mean, have a look at this guy. This guy looks insanely muscular, right? So Jinbei, I guess, doesn't really care to look muscular, and quite frankly, he's even stronger than his captain. So why would he care to be muscular? You know, his captain still got. He didn't survive because he was not as strong as he should have been. He was not very strong, particularly, so he got defeated by a simple rear admiral, not even a vice admiral. All right, so we have the footage right now. Let me just get rid of this Pocahontas music, which I have no use for. I'm going to cut all of these videos, paste them, and then go to the date modified, and I'm going to make sure to view as extra large icons. Okay, so now having done this, I just need to open a not a Canva project, a CapCut project, because that's where I'm going to format all of this stuff into a video. All right, now inside of CapCut, there's just a couple of steps to do. Would probably take 2 minutes. I already have the One Piece music, that very famous One Piece music, so I do not need to download any music. But then again, remember my lessons about music and how to download it. You can easily download any music using tools like YouTube video downloaders, like the Social Plug software that I've shown or that I've explained. All right, so let's just click on Create Project here. All right, and this should be easy. Let me make short work of, or let it rest for some time for the interface to load. After that, you can just drag and drop your footage. I'm going to drag the first layer right here. They're already organized according to date modified, which means that I'm going to get them exactly where I want them. And then I'm going to take the rest of them, drag and drop them to be in line with these. Now, one thing here is that I'm going to have to right click and extract all audio from all videos and get rid of the. Here is I'm going to have to make sure I select all of this, go to scale, and scale this a bit, maybe just around about 104%. Next thing is I'm going to adjust using the auto adjust tool. The color correction, but not that much. I'm also going to go and play with the filters a bit, but I think that's not going to be a very good thing. I think it's already good now. No need for extra filters or anything. And I'm going to have to speed the videos up by maybe 100 or 1.05. Actually, I wanted 1.05, not 1.5. I think that I'm gonna have to do it manually. Yep. So now it's 75 seconds instead of the 1 minute. And then I'm just gonna go and drag the music that I want to use. So I have a specific One Piece music. And I'm also gonna add a sound effect, which I call the reveal sound effect. But first, let me add this music. I'm gonna cut the end because we just want to apply it for the duration of the videos. And I'm gonna add the reveal sound effect at a lower -8 or -10. And then I'm gonna play this at every time there is a new character that shows. Copy, paste, 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 zoom out, paste, paste. So that cursor makes my life easier. I cannot listen to the music on camera, but that's okay. So as far as the transitions are concerned, I think I'll be using a transition. Maybe the flash. Let's try something else. There's a lot. There's a lot of. I really sometimes I get lost as to which one I should really use. I like this one. And when you apply a transition, try keeping the same transition for all. Not that this is a rule of thumb, but for this video here, there's no need for multiple transitions because multiple transitions just shows that you're hungry for transitions. That's all. It doesn't really show skill because you can't trick people into thinking that you're very skilled if you're using a lot of transitions. Now, some people might get tricked, but those are just if they get tricked, then it's on them for not knowing the basics of video editing. But most of all, applying transitions doesn't show video editing skills. What shows video editing skills is your capability of making engaging content. Okay, and engaging content doesn't always mean sophisticated video editing skills. It just means that if you have an idea, you're capable of pretty much communicating it through video editing. And the better you are at it, the better it is. The better you can be considered as a better video editor. So do not use a lot of transitions. Or if you use one transition, try keeping it consistent, especially if it's the same concept, the same scene. I like this. This is good. Now I didn't. You will not be able to hear the music here because I muted the music. I can unmute it right now since I'm gonna go and export my project with the music on, but I will not play the music while I'm recording. That's that. I hope that you've learned something from this technique. This is a very impressive technique that you can use as well. You've seen that this works as far as it works for anime, it works for Disney movies, works for Pixar movies, anything. So that's it. And we're trying our best to always be of service and to really bring you ideas from outside the box about how you can particularly start a very good business model or a very good business, pretty much that can earn you passive income, but at the same time doesn't have a very high entry to market, and where you can have some fun. So wish you the best as always. Passive income